everybody, I'm Kris Keefer. Welcome to RacerXOnline.com, and we are at Huntsville, Alabama at the Dunlop Proving Grounds. That's right, where they do all of the testing for cars, bikes, street bikes, off-road bikes, and we're honored to be here today. Dunlop brought us out to give us a tour of the facility and the ins and outs of what they do here. So, as you guys know, R&D is near and dear to my heart. It's what I do for a living. I've been doing it for almost 20 years, and it's the first time that actually I've got to come out here, so excited to ride some new tires that'll be out to you guys here fairly soon, and I'm going to talk to the boys here and give you some inside scoop on what it's like to get through the process of testing these tires before they get out to you. So excited to bring you a little insider information and go ride this beautiful track here. Supercross track is behind us. We'll show you that outdoor track as well as the car facility to the right. So lots of information about to be downloaded to you guys right now. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, I got Jesse Wentland here. So Jesse is the R&D rider for Dunlop. I guess that's the official title?
Yeah, motorcycle test engineer. That's my official title. So
you guys might recognize Jesse from many years of racing the professional circuit on Supercross and Motocross. But as we get older, the goal is to try to make a living riding a dirt bike, and Jesse has done that. So he has made it. That's what I consider making it. He gets to ride a dirt bike for a living. So Jesse, give some people your background and how you got here to Dunlop and just the path that you took to get here.
Yeah, so I ended up in 2017. I was kind of fully done with racing. Had fun, but had enough. And it wasn't just until 2.5 years ago I got a call from Clark Styles to come up for an interview. They were looking for a new test rider at the Huntsville Proving Ground facility. So I came up for an interview. They liked what I had to say, obviously. So, it's been 2.5 years here, and I can't say, enough good things about this place. It's fun. I get to ride dirt bikes, for a living still. So
without all the risk.
Yeah. Yep.
As much risk.
Yep, exactly.
All right. So you were here at the conception of the MX-34. So you just started. We had a little conversation before this started. So you got hired on, and then the 34 started coming along. So what was your day-to-day developing this tire?
We go through a few different stages. Usually starts with hand-cut trials, and then moves into compound construction, all that, and then your final product gets tested again, and it's kind of how we came here. I guess for me, being an R&D background, how much time have you spent on this tire? So what's the time span, since from the start till now? Probably, we've been testing hot and heavy right from when I got hired on 2.5 years ago. So it's like a 2 to 2.5 year span, I would say.
Coming from a 33, we can't really talk about what the 34 was like today. You'll have to wait another week or so. We're going to have an intro for that. But for you, it's a step forward as far as traction, comfort. I guess what I would like to know is, how do you guys get your information? Do you listen to us media idiots and what we have to say, or is it something internal that you guys have to agree on?
We communicate back and forth with marketing and race support a lot, just to kind of learn some inside stuff on what the pros, what you guys have to say. But we have our own process here, our own procedures that we put these tires through, and yeah, we test them, just like they do with the pro guys. They,
So you also test spec tires as well?
Yeah, do spec testing as well.
All right, so being in R&D, you're always 2-3 years ahead. So we're getting ready to launch the 34 here in a week or so. Where are you guys at on other things within Dunlop?
Yeah, we're constantly working on the next, iteration of tires. We're working on some off-road stuff, and as well as more motocross stuff that should be coming out in the next year or two.
So being a test rider, everybody, it's just not all get to ride dirt bikes. You got paperwork to do. You got a cubicle back there. It's not all just gear and shred and berm. So Jesse here has learned that. He's been here 2.5 years. So if you like your Dunlop tires, you can partially thank Jesse for that. To the right of me, you guys know this gentleman as the Alabama Slammer. I haven't heard that in a long time. Clark Stiles. He's been at Dunlop almost 17 years now. It's good seeing you, Clark. So
yeah, you too.
Give us your title, your background, and what your day-to-day is here at Dunlop.
Well, I've gone more so from test rider to more managing the testing here at the Proving Grounds, both on and off-road. We got our Taylor Knapp that handles all our on-road stuff, and then Jesse's our newest addition, and he kind of replaced me in the off-road side, so getting him up to speed and things
Just
are going
because we're
good.
getting older in the tooth, you know, we
Yeah,
got to pass
that's
the torch over to the young bucks.
That's right. Yeah.
So how much riding do you actually do now that you kind of oversee this? Are you still involved quite heavily, or is you lean towards Jesse for all that?
Definitely lean toward Jesse the most, at least for the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
We still do a lot of durability and off-road stuff, and I still jump in and help him with that. We have some places in Tennessee that we'll go, and if he needs something here, you know, help with riding or whatever, as far as durability and things like that, I'll jump in. Or if he's got any questions about tires, sometimes I'll back him up on things, but for the most part, I'll let Jesse take it.
We talked to Jesse about that a little bit. So for the people at home, and they want to know how the tire is made and how long the process is and how it comes about, I guess the new 34 is coming out. So give us the process of how long it took, how many iterations of the tire you guys went through before you finalized this is what we're coming to market with.
Sure. Well, the marketing team, they have a pretty good idea of how long they want a certain product to be on the market. Usually, you know, they'll get with Japan and start discussing when they want the new product to come out, and Japan will send us some hand-cut tires, and we'll go through several iterations of those until they find a pattern that works really well, and then eventually that turns into molded tires. And as far as iterations, it really just depends how quick we find kind of that key ingredient, the combination that works.
Yep.
Could be, you know, 10 or 15, or it could be more.
From start to finish, how long is the process?
It's usually at least a 2 to 3 year process. Yeah, it's not a quick process. It takes a while, of course, for them to take the results from hand cuts per se,
Yeah.
and we go back, here's the results, and they have to figure out what they want to do next and then make the tires. I think the hand cut tires, I don't know an exact amount, but I think that's quite a timely process. And then of course getting tires shipped back over here and actually on our bikes takes some time, so it's not a real quick process.
Being within the R&D here at Dunlop, do you guys work with some of the manufacturers that come standard with Dunlop on them, or how does that work?
More like the end side of that, they would come to us.
Okay.
I think initially they would talk with the marketing guys, I would assume, and say, hey, here's the reason why we don't want to run 33, we want to run a 3S for whatever reason. And then these guys would get in touch with us and say, here's what Cowie would like to do. We're going to try to lighten a tire or change this or change that. And that's when Japan will try to come up with that change for them.
Okay.
And then it works its way to us, and we
Okay.
test it and send the results. So it's not so much us working directly with OEs as more as the marketing group going back and forth with OEs for what they need for their product.
Okay, so here at the Dunlop Proving Grounds, obviously we have the two-wheel side, we have the four-wheel side, but coming from us off-road guys, do you do all of your durability here at this place?
A good portion of it, especially, like I said, Supercross and Motocross, but the off-road side, we have some places in Tennessee we go, it's 5,000 acres, and there's actually an additional 5,000 acres about a half an hour from there. So we have 10,000 acres at our disposal for anything off-road related you could possibly want.
Criteria, I guess, is probably pretty heavy when you come to durability. You guys do it in the summertime, and I'm sure
Yep.
it looks pretty baked out here at times. So I'm sure it's not the most fun job to have in the middle of summer, but it gets done.
It can become a job at times, but then again, you're riding motorcycles and You know,
It's better than pouring concrete.
that's right. That's right.
All right, Clark, so to wrap it all up, how much fun do you have here at this place? Because I come from an R&D background, and I come here and I look around, and all the facility is huge, for one, and then you have so much at your disposal. Tracks,
Yep.
You have a nice shop, you have a nice air conditioner, cubicle.
Now we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit of that, like how nice is it being here for 16 years and working with a company like Dunlop?
So coming from racing, I paid and used my own money to have what is at our disposal here.
Yeah.
You know, multiple tracks, new layouts whenever we need them, or development demands it. Water truck, tractors, the equipment, attachments. So it's about as good as you can get if you're a motorcycle fanatic like we are.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. Huntsville, Alabama, Dunlop Proving Grounds. Very interesting for me to walk through the facility, come out here and get to ride, and learn the process from Jesse and Clark and what they do to get the tire to market. So for me, I love all the intricacies of how something gets to market, and to see the MX-34, how it's been brought up, the durability, the conditions, and I actually got to feel the tire. Wish I could tell you about it right now, but you'll have to wait another week or so for the actual review. But for me, I can tell you guys right now, that is a step in the right direction for you Dunlop tire lovers out there. And for me, you guys know how critical I am on a front tire. So I'm excited to talk about the tires from Dunlop here in the future. But it's a crazy facility. I would love to be a part of this. For me, as a guy who loves to ride dirt bikes and test and evaluate and try to make things better, this is the perfect place to do it. You got different types of terrain, you got tracks at your disposal, you can hear the street bike in the background. There's all kinds of things going on here in Alabama at the Dunlop Proving Grounds, and this is basically heaven for two-wheel lovers out there. That is awesome. Just a guy trying out some tires and doing some testing. So we're gonna come back to LACR here in about a week. We're gonna give you the information on the MX-34, so stay tuned for that. So thank you to Dunlop, Chad, Chris, Rich, and of course, Clark and Jesse for having us out here and getting to ride the CRF 450R with the MX-34. So tried a 120/90/19, I tried a 120/80/19, and of course, the 80/100/21 front tire, and the conditions out here were really fun, as you guys can see in the video. So stay tuned for more product reviews over here on racerxonline.com. And if you guys have any questions, Chris at KeeferIncTesting.com. I'm happy to help you and give you guys some information anytime you need. My door is open. See you guys on the next trip.